Well, good afternoon, everybody. So glad to be with you on this great Friday. Sprite, how are you today?
I'm great, David. How are you?
Well, we've been pretty busy here for a bunch of reasons, but Sprite and I have been extra busy. I guess that's one way to put it. Sprite, why have you and I been extra busy?
Well, because we are going to be at the Sublimation Summit next week, which is very exciting and a lot to do to prepare for that. So
It is. And then Sprite did not hurt my wrist, although I joked around that she mashed me in the heat press. So I jammed my thumb. But we are very excited to be at the Sublimation Summit. That's in Atlanta. Probably not too late to get a flight with Delta if you're out of town. It's a two-a-day event, although I think it's sort of moved on to sort of be a three-day event. There are classes Friday and Saturday, and now there's classes even on Thursday. So it is a pretty exciting event, the who's who of sublimation. It's a heavy education workshop, so if you want to check it out, sublimationsummit.com. If you do buy a two-day pass, you can save $50 by putting in the Conde 50 code. That is CONDE 50. Before we get started, I want to thank everyone that visited us in Columbus, Ohio. We had an unbelievably great show. Just everything seemed to click. Had a lot of fun in Columbus as well. Great food and just a great show. One of the great things about those shows, of course, is we get to demonstrate with our Conde kiosk. We get to show people so they can touch and feel. And we have our class, which was well attended there. So if you want to check out where NBM is going next, just ought to Google NBM shows. We do have a trade show link on our website where you can see those kind of activities. I think after the Sublimation Summit, the next is Denver.
Denver, yes,
So
the
we'll be
11th and the 12th of October.
So if you're in that area, please sign up. Everything is free. Admittance to the show, the class, and if you attend my class, I'll give you a $25 coupon. If you come by the booth, I think you'll get another $25 coupon. So it's a great way to grow your knowledge, network with others, get to see products, get to see what's sort of state of the art with sublimation. And so take advantage of that. And then rounding up towards the end of the year in late October is what was the SGIA show. It's now Print United. It's in Dallas. Take advantage of that show as well. I think that show does cost something to get in, so I'm not sure. And we may be able to have passes for you, but you can ask your Conde rep for that. So it's all good with audio, and hopefully we're running smooth. So Sprite, what's going on with you?
Well, I've got a couple questions that I want to address. So I have a couple people asking about the summit. So the summit is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the 27th, and the 28th. That's all right.
She's got her Sprite, by
You know
the way.
what? That has a football helmet on it, and we're doing some football helmet ornaments today. So that's pretty cool, right?
Cool.
That's the way the universe works. So yeah, the Sublimation Summit is in Peachtree City, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, and Tanya is going to be there. I'm really excited to meet you, Tanya. That's fun. That's fantastic. So yeah, you can go to sublimationsummit.com, type in Conde 50, CONDE 50.
For the two-day pass.
For the two-day pass, and you get a little bit of money off, so that's great. What, 92 classes, I think?
Yeah, I teach 2 classes on Friday, 2 classes on Saturday. First class is sort of introduction to sublimation. We're actually going to take a printer out of the box, set it up, make it print. Then I'm teaching sort of a best practices intermediate kind of class.
But let's talk about the most fun thing with you is they're actually auctioning David off. So Somebody is going to pay, you know, like 50 cents, and they're going to get you for like an hour or something. I
I'm
don't
worth
even know.
all of what they pay for a penny.
I think you should pay people, is what I think should
I
happen.
may have to. There's maybe just complete silence. I may
Oh,
have to.
how stressful would that be?
I may
I'll
have
go
to
vote.
ask my wife to pitch in, and
If you loan me $100, I'll put $100 down on you.
that's too much.
That's too much.
You should save your money. I'm not worth it.
I don't know about that.
So at any rate, the idea is that you know, I love to help people and share ideas, and also get people to share with me. We have so much fun around here talking to our clients and learning what you're doing, how you're doing it, what works for you, what doesn't. It's really a great thing. I mean, so many people in Columbus would walk up and say, here's sort of what I need, here's what I'm looking for. For instance, we will launch, I think maybe next week, a pre-cut size paper for just the camp mug. The camp mug has been spectacularly successful, and so now we'll have a pre-cut paper. The pre-cut is for traditional, normal coverage on the camp mug. It's not yet, we do not have yet a paper that would be for the SubliShrink type where you get the full bleed. You can still use the SubliShrink with the paper. So I know it's confusing, but you can clarify it for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, and you know when I can clarify it is in my class at the Sublimation Summit. So, but first off, my cousin in California is watching.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Hi, Celeste. I love you. So yeah, so let me talk about my classes at the Sublimation Summit. So the first class I'm going to do is a bunch of new products and then new techniques, which is really exciting. It's going to be hands-on. And then the second class is going to be branding and marketing and pricing and stuff, design for certain products. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Very much. So,
but no auction for me.
So just be there, but pretty exciting, and they've got a number of great other instructors going, people like Chris Bernay from Vapor, Jimmy Lamb from Sawgrass will teach on, of course, Creative Studio.
Aaron Montgomery.
Aaron Montgomery is always a good person. The other Aaron Knight from the George Knight Company will be there. So just awesome. By the way, on my way out for Columbus, I didn't have time to do anything, but I did just a quick shout to Sprite, and I said, I need a sublimation watch band for my Apple Watch. And so she said, what do you want on it? And I said, well, I'm a big Elon Musk fan, so I got her to put Tesla on here. Probably won't show up very well to the camera. Let's go to the other camera real quick and see if it shows up better. Where are we?
I don't know. Where are we? That is a good question.
So let's see. I guess I'll put it right here and do a close-up of it.
Let's see. David and his toys, y'all. Let's see. So it's got the Tesla logo on it. It says Tesla.
Oh yeah, it really looks good.
Oops.
This just guess this goes. At any rate,
looks really good. David loves it.
It does. So again, have toys will play, right?
That's right.
So very nice indeed.
You got a low resting heart rate there too.
Usually I don't. Usually for whatever reason my heart rate is way up there. But at any rate, okay, what we got on the agenda today?
So now that you have already segued into the watch bands, let's talk about the watch bands for a second. So, hey Vicki, Victoria's watching. All right, so let's talk about the watch band. So originally, I told everybody to do the watch band and to stick the pin in the watch band and then sublimate. So we have, after doing some research and development, we have found that when you do this with the pin in there, the heat and the band is causing the pin to, it's just causing the spring to not spring load like it's supposed to. And so we have fixed this issue with a paper clip. I got to figure out where I'm at now with the paper clip. So I have a jumbo paper clip here, and I'm going to do the same thing like I would with the pin. I'm just going to stick it in there in the hole, And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm just going to stick it in and stick it in. So now when I'm finished sublimating, I just pull this out and put the pins in and put it in the band. So let's just go ahead and do one real quick. All right, so I just use a little bit of heat tape, or premium gold tape, to tack it down. So once again, these are just jumbo paper clips. I think I stole them from the from our receptionist. Sorry, Miss Sheila. Okay, so now it's tacked down, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to press it for 365 degrees for 60 seconds. But I'm going to lay down a piece of Teflon on the bottom, and that's going to protect the back of the watch band. You want to switch me to the front camera, Mr. Gross?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to flip this over upside down. I'm going to cover it with a piece of protective paper, and I'm going to press it with light pressure. Light pressure.
We ultimately just discovered pressing the spring, or whatever you call it, was not a good thing to inflict 400 degrees of heat and pressure on it. By the way, I had a question a few days ago from people about setting pressure, and I said, well, if you watch obviously our shows, you'll see exactly how we set pressure. One of the advantages of the George Knight press, in addition to just being a tremendously good press, is that you can feel the pressure. So it's very easy to dial in what we would call the classic, most traditional pressure, is that medium two-handed pressure. That is certainly the vast majority of substrates, hard. When we go to soft substrates like a shirt, we do want to go to a little bit lighter pressure, and of course use the vapor foam kit underneath, and also deckle the edge of the paper. So there's some traditional techniques for making sure you don't crease the fabric with the edge of the paper. You can watch our videos. And if you're not familiar with our videos, we have many videos at Conde TV. You can search on the channel. You can just search on YouTube by putting like Conde in a subject. There are a lot of classic videos that certainly I recommend people watch, that really help you solidify what we would call as best practices transfer technique.
All right, so I'm done, and it's sublimated.
Flip back over here.
Sublimated great. I think I lost one of my pins, but that's my fault. That's nobody else's fault. So now I'm just going to take this. I'm going to pull it out. I don't know where it went. So I pulled it out, and then I pulled it out. So what happens is the heat makes the material that's in this little loop area, it makes it kind of, it makes it stick together, because we are using extremely high heat. So by doing this so originally I thought, well, we can just put the pin in there and that'll stop it. Well, like I said, it's starting to make the pin stick, and it's not spring loading very well. So we just, we figured out a way around it, and I like that. My R&D department will serve me well during the apocalypse. Yes, ma'am, Martha. We're going to be MacGyvering everything. So when the end times come to Mobile, Alabama.
I wonder what the female version of MacGyver is, So,
it's MacGyver. Same thing. Girl power. All right.
Certainly that fits you quite well. MacGyver-ish?
Thanks.
I don't know.
I could be that. I could do that. All right, so I just put the loop on this, the smaller part. I really need to find my other pin. Who knows where it went.
Well, we will persevere for a second.
David and Sprite are gone. Where did they go?
Yes,
well.
We've hid under the table here to hide from YouTube and Facebook. I guess that's a semi off the grid there.
Oh well.
I don't know where it is.
That's okay. I've got this one that I did. So, anyways, a little bit of a workaround, just using a...
But amazing simple alteration to our instructions to ensure that you don't damage the pin. And I have tortured my watch by pulling on it really hard and trying to to do damage to it, and I have not been successful. And then, of course, I put it to the ultimate test. I tried to get my dogs, Baron the Beast, to, he comes up, grabs my arm,
I found it.
and tries to, grab my watch or whatever he wants to grab. And
Oh, so it's been Baron tested.
Baron tested and Brinkley tested. So,
Okay.
Baron made a appearance on here some months ago, and Baron now is probably, I don't know, he's probably approaching 140 pounds. Just truly amazing.
Okay, I have a couple of comments and a couple of questions. So Suna said that I sublimated the little strap holder downer thingy. Totally know what you're talking about. The tape ripped the sublimation coating off. What did I do wrong? So you don't want to tape the loop or the holder down thingy. You want to use Pro Spray on that part. And so if you were to do this part, the loop, what you're going to do, so just like this, right? So you're going to take the loop and you're going to put a piece of Teflon or a piece of paper in between the loop, and then you're going to take your image and you're going to fold it just like this, Pro Spray it, stick your loop in between, sublimate one side, flip it over and sublimate the other side. And then when you open it up, you take the paper out of the center, and that's going to stop it from sticking. I hope that helped you, Suna. Okay, and then I've tried sublimating on ceramic tile, but the edges had ghosting. Can you tell me what I did wrong?
So I would probably need to see a photograph of the tile to understand what you mean by ghosting, but I suspect what you mean is not really ghosting, but incomplete sublimation on the edge. And typically the first thing you want to do is make sure you're using a green pad on top. And there are some people that will do the tile face up, some people will do the tile face down. If you do it face down, you're pushing the tile into the Nomex pad on the bottom, transfers face up, tiles face down, piece of paper on top, or the green pad. You have a lot of flexibility with how you do tiles. They're, after 27, 28 years, there's just different ways. But I would ask, are you using the green pad on the top if your tile is face up? Comments?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, and also, make sure that, make sure you're going for long enough. So normally white, so splotchiness in the middle of your image means that you haven't gone long enough. Splotchiness on the edges usually means that you don't have enough pressure. Usually. So I say that, with caution.
So I would say that it goes back to some basics. I would recommend that you have a Nomex pad. I recommend that you have a green pad if you're doing tile. Nomex pad is very helpful because it cushions the tile as you're closing it to allow the tile to adjust to a press that may not be closing quite evenly. And some of these things also apply when you go to other tiles like our sandstone coasters. And so really it's a technique issue that when you're pressing one, it's hard to screw that up, but when you start pressing a whole lot of them, no press ever closes completely evenly, and so need to adjust. We had one, switching gears just slightly, we had one comment, it was just, I guess it was a tad bit of confusion on Pro Spray, and Pro Spray is really a different kind of heat tape. They actually do the same thing. What they're designed to do is hold the transfer to the substrate so that during the sublimation process, when you open the press, that transfer does not move. If the transfer moves, things are hot enough where you're likely to get a shadow image, a double take, things like that. And so Pro Spray is a sticky spray that tends to leave no residue, in general, after you press it. You do have some residue, let it cool down, wipe it away with denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol is the kind of alcohol you buy at the paint store. Now, the confusion was somebody believed that Pro Spray was a sublimation coating. It is not a sublimation coating. So it's just an alternative to heat tape. that is especially useful for double-sided products like huggers, like the little watch thing. Very helpful for soft substrates, mouse pad, shirts, where heat tape is just not practical. Heat tape's not going to do a good job.
That is correct. And we're going to use some Pro Spray here in a little bit, actually right now. But first, let me talk about what we have going on. So, if you read the title of this video, the title of this video is SG400 Bundle Sale. No, SG400 Sale Fall Bundle. That's what it's called, something like that. And yes, Pro Spray is very sticky. So, we have one of those sales, just like we did with our SG800, but now we have it on the SG400, lower than we've ever had it before, lower than you probably will ever get it. I don't know, brand new out the box. And to sweeten the pot a little bit, we have an entire array of substrates that we're going to give you with the printer. So it's basically business in a box. You buy the printer, you have the substrates, you have the ink, you have the system, Creative Studio, you buy the printer and you start selling stuff. So what I'm doing today is some of the products that are coming in that SG400 Fall Bundle. So, and as always, you will have a chance to win one of all of the blanks that I pressed today at the end of the show. In addition to that, I'm going to give away 3 art packs. So the 3 pieces of art that I do today, I'm going to give away to 2 very lucky, moderately lucky, I guess it depends on how much you like the artwork, 2 lucky viewers, one on YouTube, one on Facebook. But I got to have some more viewers. So guys, please share my video. I know you're in some sublimation groups. Let them see what we got going on today.
Post, post, post.
Share and share alike. And if we get up to a certain magic number, I'm going to give away a couple of art pieces.
Real quick to talk about the special. So probably about 16 years ago, we identified Ricoh as making a inkjet printer with a piezo print head, large cartridges, fast, high quality. And those printers, I think it was about 16, 17 years ago, those printers entered our world. First one was called the GX7000, and from that moment forward, Ricoh has fallen in love with sublimation. We're probably up to the 4th or 5th generation printers at this point with the SG400-800. Very refined printers, good quality, very reasonable price, just all around great printers. And a few years ago, we talked to everybody, and ultimately out of all that conversation, the printers now bear the name Sawgrass. And I think that's a very good thing for a bunch of reasons, but ultimately it closes the support loop between our 2 companies. But also, Sawgrass got to ask Ricoh to refine the printer for sublimation. So today, the 400-800 are the only printers that I am aware of that out of the box, they were designed, they're supported, they're warranted for sublimation. And one of these days, of course, Epson's going to get in the desktop game. Epson is, of course, a fine company, and their large F-series printers are great. In fact, they just introduced a bunch of new ones. But when it comes to sort of a business in a box from a sublimation point of view, that's what the 400 and 800 are. The 400, people always fret out, which one should I buy? And I tell them that, you know, if they really are that focused on trying to figure out which one to buy the 400, because you're going to come back in a year and you're going to say, well, I wish I'd bought the 800, but if you had not bought anything, well, then you wouldn't be in the game, you wouldn't be making money, you wouldn't be successful with sublimation. So for folks out there that are new with sublimation, the 400 is very proven. One of the benefits to the 400, other than things like SpectraFusion, which is our color management technology, and Conde support and all that, is that for folks that do not have any software, nor do they really need to use, nor do they know how to use software, Sawgrass has a cloud-based designer called Creative Studio. Creative Studio is an excellent way to be printing, designing, printing in a few minutes after you get the printer installed. So it's a great way to get started with really a handful of Corel-like features. The folks at Sawgrass are continuing to refine Creative Studio with new features and throw a lot of artwork at it. Some of the artwork is premium because they have a, even though Creative Studio is free, they do have a subscription model if you want the platinum artwork or whatever they call it. So hats off to the great people at Sawgrass for spending the time and effort to work with Rico for this printer to make a great ink, and then also to have Creative Studio for folks that need it. Now, if you're a Corel user, Photoshop user, Illustrator user, then Creative Studio is probably not a good choice for you. You should use what you have. One other point is for folks that are using Creative Studio that do not see our products in Creative Studio, no problem. You can use our template inside of Creative Studio, and we've got a video that shows you how to do that. The very quick answer is you can use our PNG version of our template in Creative Studio and get the job done. So I'm sure the watch bands aren't in there, but you take the PNG template that Sprite made and you're good to go. Mm-hmm. By the way, for watch folks out there, I am working on designing a longer watch band for folks that have larger wrists. So I don't know when that'll be done, but definitely working on it right now. And by the way, people have, it's almost like they're breaking down our door to tell us that you can use these watch bands with a bunch of other watches. I can't keep up with some of them, but I know some of the Samsung or whatever. You just don't have to put the little
bracket in.
The bracket in.
Yeah, so it's just a standard size watch band with a standard size watch pin, so it'll pretty much fit, you know, just about any watch. So it's really cool. Anyways.
That's amazing. So I was just so excited when some of the Galaxy folks here started telling us, and you know, Apple's got their brand new Apple Watch 5, I believe it is, out. So
I got a couple of questions. First off, Dale, I see you. I'm glad you enjoyed all your blank stuff. Scoob-Doo. That's
somebody
so
asking about the Fitbit.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Scoob-Doo, you can, the mug template is on the website. So you go to the mug 11 and it should be under templates. Jerry, will Conde ever have Fitbit bands? Well, guess what? They fit. They fit the Fitbit.
They do?
Because it is a standard watch band and it is a standard watch pin. If you
I
can
thought
take
some of the Fitbits are really, really small.
So if you, oh, now that's true. Yeah, it's not going to fit the thin, but it fits the ones with just the regular face. It's just a regular standard size watch band. So if your watch face takes a regular standard size watch pin, these should work. Should.
So my son has a Garmin GPS runner's watch, and it fits. So.
Okay. Scoob-Doo, if you have any issues, just email me at swood@conde.com. That's SWOOD@conde.com. This is the first design that I have up for grabs today. This is our Eagle design, so I need some more people to start watching before I can give this away.
So this is obviously a football-shaped
This is a football-shaped
ornament.
helmet, and this is one of the things that you're going to get if you buy the SG400 or if you win. This comes in the SG400 bundle. So
it's a Unisub product. It's made of metal.
Yes.
It's double-sided.
And we're gonna do-
Sprite, what is the best thing about doing double-sided metal?
You can do both sides at the same time. So what I have here is when you get the template, it comes over just like this. So I'm going to take it, crease it down the center, pro spray it with my spray adhesive. And if you guys would like, if I had a question the other day, I think Alice asked about the tip clogging up. There's a great video on CondeTV.com about how to keep your pro spray nozzle clean. So I'm just going to spray it very lightly.
We generally soak your tip in acetone during the night and flip it over and clear the nozzle just like it was a can of spray paint.
You know what? We're actually not going to do this because my heat press is not set to this temperature. I lied.
What is it at?
It's at 380.
So that'll do. Do
All
it
right.
for a minute and a half, 380.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So if I mess up,
Oh, it'll work out fine.
This guy.
Oh, no problem. You know, people get hung up on 400 degrees, and the other day we were talking with a client, and I said, you know, when sublimation was first discovered, it's a phenomenon of nature. It's synthetic dyes that, when heated, turn into a gas. It's a class of dyes called dispersed dyes, and it was actually first observed in England, best I can tell, in 1938 in the UK. And so you had to come out with a temperature. Well, a phenomenon in nature isn't going to just happen to have a nice round temperature number like 400. So that is a human-derived number. You could sublimate just as easily at 380, 385. You could sublimate just as easy at a temperature higher than that. So there's really nothing, quote, quote, sacrosanct would be one word to think of it, nothing sacred about 400 degrees. But the bottom line is you go down in time, guess what? You got to go up in, go down in temperature, you got to go up in time in order to allow the sublimation process pretty much to max out. So when that coating opens up to receive the dye, we call that the dye diffusion process, it's thirsty. In other words, it allows those dyes to come in, but it reaches a point where it's full of dye, you know, and it's not practical to push any more dye in there, and that's when you've reached the point where the coating has done its thing. It's taken as much dye as it can, and at that point in time, you want to remove the heat, you want to let the pores collapse, trapping the dye. And so different products have, we'll call it a different thirst for the dye. They take the dyes actually at a little bit different rate depending on the coating, depending on the product. So typically if things sublimate really quick, they will also unsublimate really quick. So again, it's a matter of a little bit of material science, but oh wow, I love that red.
I know you do. We're going to let that cool. So I got a lot of stuff to go over today.
Yep.
So we're just going to kind of run through it. Okay, I got a sock. I only have one sock. Let's not talk about that. So this is sock 46. This is also going in your SG400 bundle sale. And this is the second piece of artwork that you can get. This is my skull and bones. So same thing with the sock. I'm just going to find the edges of my design. I'm going to fold it over, crease it, pro spray it, and stick my sock in the middle. And then we're going to sublimate this one for 50 seconds at 370 light pressure. Okay, so I'm just going to stick my sock in there. I love these socks. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about a revenue stream? This is a revenue stream right here. Everybody loves weird socks. All right, so I'm going to do it for 50 seconds on one side, then I'm going to flip the whole package over, and I'm going to do it for another 50 seconds on the other side.
And one of the points to emphasize here is if you're doing lots of double-sided products like huggers, for instance, like socks, one of the things to take advantage of with the Georgia Knight press is bottom heat.
Oh yes.
And
how cool.
you can swap out that bottom part, put in the bottom heat when you need it. It's a separate, you know, power cord, so you've got to have adequate power to run it's like a second press. But bottom line is, you can, you know, obviously cut your production time, you know, cut it more than half. Great time saver. It's a feature that you know, if you got like a Georgia Knight DC16, Georgia Knight DK20S, you can buy that accessory, and saves you a lot of time.
All right, so I got one side done. I'm just going to take it without doing anything, and I'm just going to flip it over just like this. All right, press it again. So I got a couple questions. I am pressing socks, Lisa, the sock 46, and Nancy. I would think these would retail $25, $30 easy, very easy, especially if you do, you know, a custom design or like somebody's face. I see that super popular right now. You take somebody's face and you just duplicate it. My niece, this is cute, my niece bought her entire office socks with her face on it.
No.
And it was the best gift. How cool is that? So
what was the reason
just as a funny little gift.
Okay.
I mean, you know, so it's just a funny little gift. I think it's hilarious. I would love to do that for my department.
Wow.
Maybe this year instead of straws, everybody gets
I've got,
socks
you know,
with Sprite
I've
space
got my
on it.
wife's birthday is coming up, and I've got to
Oh, make
figure
her
out
some socks with your face
couple
on it.
of couple of gifts there for her. I'm not sure a sock with my face on it would
Yeah, probably not.
would fly there.
Probably not.
But anyway, now with the socks, oh wow.
And you see, I don't know if you guys can see the smoke
Very
coming off, but
nice,
it's pretty,
very
it's
nice.
pretty hot. So this is cute. So it's my little skull, and it says Happy Halloween. And so that's, you know, up at the top of the sock.
You obviously could press both socks at the same time, so you're down to 2 transfers with top heat. In addition, the what do we call it? Sublime sock.
Sublime sock.
They have a built-in jig, and I got to tell you, that's a game changer for the sock world because it makes things so easy to do, so consistent, and really you eliminate almost every part of an edge issue for it. And so it'd be interesting to see if I can even detect an edge. And so I'm going to pull it out here.
Yeah, oh yeah, I had somebody ask me about the edge, and you can't even really see it. I had a question about, which is a really, really good question. Can you use the 400 for that flag? Looks like it's printed from the 800. And yeah, so I use an 800, so I print everything on the 800, but when this comes over, it actually comes over only as the pennant, and it doesn't come over as the, what is this called? Like the spine. That's what it is, it's spine. So I just included the spine design in my artwork. But let's see how long this flag is. Let's see how long this entire thing is.
Minimal seam on here.
You know what? All right, Tim, this is a 12-inch long flag, and you have the capability to print 8.5 by 14 on your SG400. So yes, you can totally do this entire flag top to bottom. All right, speaking of that, we're going to do this flag. This is A001, and we're going to press this cute little fall design and see how it goes. So once again, I'm going to pro spray because I'm using fabric, and my rule of thumb is fabric with pro spray, hard substrates with tape, and that's a general rule.
And by the way, for folks that do have an SG400 that need to print longer, if you buy the bypass tray, which is a relatively low-cost option, you will be able to print longer. So, for instance, in our DyeTrans papers, we have an 8.5 by 21-inch cut sheet paper. You would put that in the bypass tray. That would allow you to print 8.5 inches wide, so you don't get to print wider, but you go that full 21 inches, and that's amazing. So, for the really long socks, you know, that are the tube kind, you're going to get the job done. So even with the 400, you have some interesting flexibility with printing longer.
Product number on the sock, Sock 46. Hey Eddie, what's up? Sandy should have been calling you today. I hope she did. Sock 46. Thanks, Craig. Yes. Oh, Celeste. I would love to print Mila some socks. Yes, let's do it. Maybe with your face on it. How about that?
You gonna pull this down?
Yeah, you scroll down and see what I got over there. Great question, Tim. All right, so I'm doing this one for 45 seconds, 380 degrees.
We missed a few comments here.
I made my son's socks with my face on last year with the words "World Best."
Michelle says, "I have the bottom heat on my D616. Love it." Made my son's face last year. World's best mom. Ooh, nice.
That's hilarious.
He's 21. Wasn't very impressed. Okay.
Suna, you crack me up. I'm telling you. Nice new pickup. So speaking of 400.
Do you?
Yep. Great. Great. Lots of comments. I appreciate that. Can't put that in the bottom tray, the 21-inch. No, you're going to use the bypass tray. Ooh.
Yeah, getting a compliment for discounting the 800. And I'm not going to repeat the story, but bottom line is I want a lot of people to have quality equipment. That's why I really believe, especially in buying these printers. They're great, supported well, And also U.S. made presses. I talk to people all day long, and very often we'll troubleshoot an issue and find out press is sort of really causing the issue. And it doesn't matter to me from a support point of view what press you have. We'll try to do our best to help you, but you've got a much better chance of success. It's like going into a Las Vegas casino when the odds are greatly against you being successful due to maybe the equipment you have.
So I've got quite a few questions. So no, Nancy, these are the crew socks. The knee-high socks is the sock 47. So these are the adult crew. And
That was an excellent black there.
isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Very nice. And double-sided product.
Oh, hey, Ashley. Ashley with Artistry's watching, or Artistry's watching.
Yes. So you can put what do they call
They
those
have a
little
dowel. Yeah. I wanted you
does
guys
that come
to
with the
see-
product? I
No,
think
it does not.
Okay.
So this is the seam, and the only reason it looks like that is because the orange kind of. Ooh, that one's a little messed up. I mean, it's not messed up. It's just you can see where the skull kind of. So and then here's the other side. There's the other seam. So there's really, not too much of a seam there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So I take it you're not going to put the sock on, I guess,
I mean, you can do it. You can totally do that. All right, so I got 3 ornaments. These 3 ornaments is what is going into your SG400 bundle.
While you're
You
doing
just,
work, I'm going to put them on here. I don't know. Why not, right?
Sure. I hope your feet don't smell. That'd be gross.
I did take a shower today.
That's good. Sell the dowel separately. Yeah, we do. We do sell the dowel separately. The dowel is, I think, A008 or something is the part number for the dowel. All right, so I'm doing my my ghost ornament, my pumpkin ornament, and my, thank you, Craig, A006. You're killing it today. I love it. How's it look?
I'll put the
You gonna put your foot on the
camera.
camera?
Yeah, I'm going to move the camera to the top camera here.
This
Okay, I wonder if it can.
There-
Can you see it here? Yeah, I guess you can a little bit.
Oh, there's David's foot, guys. Hey.
Yeah. Talk to the foot there.
I promise it works, right?
It really does.
It works.
It really does there.
All right, I'm
But
gonna do.
and the reason I put it on is because, well, I have essentially what is sort of supposed to be an orange shirt. Went to Auburn, so again, it's it certainly is apropos today, I think, for me to wear an orange shirt.
Well, I should have done 2
Orange
socks.
sock. Well, that's the magic of the socks is
Should've done 2.
there are no rules.
I guess not.
You can have a happy sock on one foot, sad sock on the other. Just think of how to sell to the millennials, right?
You keep saying that.
I don't think I've got those kind of folks figured out yet. So
Too bad we all work for you.
yeah.
All right, so I'm doing 2 more ornaments, and they have 2 more art packs on them. So we're almost there to my magic number if you guys still want to share my video so I can get a couple more views.
So my blacks seem
There you go.
to
Come out gray a lot of the time.
A lot of the time, use Sawgrass 400 through Studio. I'm much fresh. So the one of the comments from, is it Tim?
Yeah, Tim.
Is that he's saying that when he's doing blacks, they're not good blacks. So in troubleshooting that, one of the first things you want to do is look at the transfer paper after you press to see if you've got a lot of ink left on the paper. Where's the paper for the socks? You got the paper and socks?
I do.
So we could look at it and just sort of, and it's a judge of how good a job we did. And looking at this, which we'll just look at this, it looks like we could have gotten some more ink into the fabric. What was your time you pressed for?
50 seconds.
50 seconds. So again, it's one of those kinds of things that you want to calibrate your equipment, see what you've got.
Oh, but you see the difference.
Yeah, but if you look at the top, very different with the part that found a home and the part of the gas that didn't. But the point is that black is that last color to sublimate, And so when you're calibrating or dialing in a new substrate, you very much want to do an RGB 000, which is, of course, an RGB black. So what I would say is,
here's a good one. Here, this one you can really see the difference in the color. See the edge?
Yeah, so that would be what I would call normal expectations. Maybe 20% left of ink on the substrate. So at any rate, dialing in a black, and so let's say you make a mistake and you're not happy with the results. Then what you can do is do a black test, do a strip of black on there, press it, and you can try different times to see what's the appropriate time for getting the best black, because black is the last color to sublimate.
That's right.
We had somebody come by the booth at Columbus, and they was a young lady, and she was sort of stood there, and I was going, okay, and she obviously wanted to say something, but she wasn't saying it. Finally, she said, I'm sort of confused. I've walked this show here. I've looked at everybody who is also selling sublimation stuff, and your samples look extremely good, vibrant, beautiful colors, and she said some of the others didn't quite look as good. And I explained to her that one of the things is we've got, of course, good instructions. We help people with their colors, but ultimately our color technology, which is called SpectraFusion, makes all the difference in the world. So for folks that are involved with Corel products, with Adobe products, Silhouette, you can take advantage of SpectraFusion to get true color, to get accurate color, where a lot of folks are not aware of SpectraFusion. So SpectraFusion, amazing. Now, if you're one of the folks that are using the cloud-based designer creative studio from Sawgrass, you do have to use their solution, which is called VPM, which is a Virtuoso print manager. But pretty much for everybody else, they can take advantage of SpectraFusion. SpectraFusion is free for folks that have bought their printer from us, or it's free for people who are buying their inks, their paper, their supplies from us. So it's in our best interest, if you think about it, to help you do the best, to have the best looking products so that you'll sell them, you'll profit, and then we hope it grows your business.
So, in summation, blacks turning gray is more time, not necessarily more pressure.
Correct.
Correct. So I had a question about blacks turning brown, and when a black turns brown, it's usually over sublimated. So, yeah.
Correct. It depends a little bit on your ink, but if we're talking about the kind of inks for the Ricos and Sawgrass, and generally the Epsons out there that are used for sublimation, black turning brown would typically be overcooked.
Okay, guys, so these are my 3 ornaments, and these are also my 3 art packs that I might...
Are you going to throw in a watch band in your little...
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. So this is my ghost ornament, and it has my
That's precious.
skull. Isn't it cute? It's got my skull and bones design on it. Here is my helmet ornament with my eagle design on it, and so we did both sides at the same time. And then here is my retro crazy design on a pumpkin, and it says fall, y'all, because it's fall, y'all. So these 3 designs could be yours, but I need more viewers, so share alike, send them to your groups, comment on the video.
I'm going to do some air fresheners now.
I'm going to do some air fresheners also. Cool. Oh, good. Tracy, you're going to love Casey. Casey's great. So she just got off the phone with Casey. Gray to brown. Tracy's grays are turning brown.
Okay. So typically
It's overcooking.
we would ask, what substrate are you decorating? What printer do you have? Inks. What is your color management solution? Is it VPM, SpectraFusion, or something else? So typically that's how we would troubleshoot it.
Craig, I love this. He says, just remember, blacks look Black looks brown, turn it down. Craig, what? You're hilarious. You guys, my YouTube crew right now, I see you guys on all the videos together commenting. They're all friends, and you guys crack me up. All right. Up
But
next.
yeah, but we would help you troubleshoot that issue.
Call us.
But typically, you know, first is what substrate and what's your time.
Okay, Carol, I see you talking about the Samsung. So one of the guys in the office has the Samsung, you know, and it's the bigger watch face, and the watch band fits his Samsung fine. All right, guys, so moving right along, we're going to do the FAF32. These are our square air fresheners. So you can do these individual or you can do a whole sheet. So I'm just going to do a whole sheet. I've got my little design set up, 2 different photographs. So once again, I'm going to use the Pro Spray. So just spray it from a distance,
And just throwing in while Sprite's doing it, I'll go to the camera here.
There we go. I'm just gonna line it up.
Yeah. So one of the things that we engineered around here, and it's shipping, is for folks that are doing a lot of the car coasters. Car coasters are one of my favorite products, and so we now have a car coaster jig to help you press those puppies really, really fast. Nice, easy to use. I think it's like, are there 2 sizes to it? Maybe a legal size and then a bigger one. Can't quite remember.
All right.
But,
sorry. So we're going to do this for 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Yes, the car coaster jigs are a lifesaver in a large production.
And so as you think of a product that needs a jig, we'll make one for you. So again, part of the magic of sublimation is ramping up, growing your business, huge volumes. And a lot of these products, like, could be a air freshener, car air freshener. I guess there's many uses for this product. It is, after all, just sort of a felt tag, if you will. Has a hole in it, comes with a ribbon, even comes with a little bag. So you could think of all sorts of alternative uses of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably would make somewhere in this, with the millennials, make a good save the date kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Work that in.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, okay, so everybody's talking about, you guys are all talking about how I took one out to line up the rest of them. And yeah, so normally when I do that pattern, I keep the outer edge, the outer line, and then I can fit the big square into the outer line of the rectangle. But in that case, I didn't do that, and so I just took one out and made sure it was lined up, and then I.
So you didn't have a bleed on the outside?
Correct. I only had a bleed on the individual ones.
Yeah, so having a full bleed design is always very helpful for alignment purposes, especially if the substrate is, you know, easy design.
And there we go. So I'm only doing one side because I got a bunch of stuff to do today and I'm being lazy. So these do kind of curl up a little bit when you do one side. That's not a big deal. All I really need to do is just stick them in the heat press the other way and press them again, and that should flatten them out. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And that'll flatten these little bad boys out. So I'm going to press them again 400 degrees for maybe about 30 seconds, about half the time I pressed them for.
Yeah, Columbus, I had a lot of questions about sublimating twice on products, and I would say sometimes you can get away with it. For instance, on a shirt, generally, yeah, I would say so. But like on a coffee mug, probably not, because you're reheating everything that's on the mug. So sublimating a second time on the same surface should be done with caution. You know, those have excellent color balance.
They really do. These things look great. So these things, when they come out of the press, they're kind of pliable, right? So as they're warm, they're pliable. Like you can move them and stuff. But as soon as they dry, or as soon as they cool, excuse me, then they start to harden up.
Beautiful colors. I love oranges. Oranges and blues.
And reds. Oranges and blues and reds, I know.
And you did that sample the other day of the texture panel had those beautiful blues on it.
Oh, yeah. It's out in the lobby.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Somebody said you just died on Facebook. Okay. Do you have to always use a new sheet of protective white paper? Oh yes ma'am, because if you don't, you run the risk of dye migration, and that's dye from your sheet getting onto the next substrate. Paper is cheap. This butcher paper is super cheap, so just use a new sheet. No big deal. All right, so this...
Yeah, some people will be sloppy and they can get away with just about anything, but ultimately, you know, it's probably the right thing to do to change your paper each time.
So like David said, this comes with a little rubber cord and also a bag for display. So this is your entire packet right here. It's a beautiful thing. So you just peel off the
really elegant
part.
Product for a very low cost.
Right? I know. So these can retail from about $5 to $10 a piece. So isn't that cute? It's in a little
But
protective
you can think
bag.
of so many things like doing an event fundraiser. Gosh, so many great ideas.
All kinds of things. Sorority. I mean, what?
So people. So if we were, let's say we were running the Sublimation Summit, literally a person could walk up using, you know, variable data, push a little bit of data into the product, print it out, sublimate it right there. So maybe we'll do that next year at the Sublimation Summit. Is do some on-demand sublimation. You know, so and you know, there's just so many great opportunities out there, especially for sublimation in the mobile world. In other words, where you're setting up an event, tremendous opportunities. You know, you obviously can sell products that are, you know, artwork and have your, what I refer to as the virtual inventory model. That is, you know, make more of what people are buying. Yes, definitely do that to make more of what people are buying. Carol, yeah, I can do both sides of this air freshener. I'm pressed for time, so I did one sock. Pressed for time.
Ah, doo-doo-ch. So I did one sock, I did one side of this. You know, I'm just pressed. Okay, next. What else? Any chance of getting men's boxers that we can sub?
You know, I would say maybe touch base and look around on the web. Who knows, Walmart might have some polyester,
white
boxes.
polyester boxers.
But I bet they're out there.
All right, I got a linen placemat. This is our small linen placemat, JDW748. So you guys saw I lint rolled it. I'm going to
And this, of course, is a great product for the 400.
Absolutely. That's why it's in the 400 bundle. So I'm going to pre-press it for about 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. So you always want to pre-press. Why? Why, David? Why do we pre-press?
Well, you know, two things really. One is that we want to flatten it. Number two is we want to get the moisture out. And in this case, there's actually a third reason. The polyester tightens a little bit under heat. So it tightens just a little bit. And so if you look really close at the linen, if you don't pre-press it, typically you'll see a little bit of where you know, it's like got a lot of halo around it. You're seeing some ink right outside of where it should be, and that's because it's shrunk enough to where it's actually sort of sublimated in two places. So hitting it with heat, enough heat and pressure to shrink it, get the moisture out, and of course flatten it. All good practices. And by the way, going back to the 400, there's a lot of products that you would look at and you say, well, that product is too big to do a full bleed design. For instance, the small garden flag. But that's okay. You know, you can put you a beautiful flower, you could put you a name on there, a family name, you know, established, you know, how they do the garden flags for folks. So you don't have to decorate every part of a garden flag. In fact, probably looks better with a little bit of just some design elements on the flag.
Yeah, I actually like doing the linen with open space. So you can see the linen come through the design. I think it looks really kind of it's like shabby chic kind of. So Dana wants to know if she's going to see you at the summit, David.
I absolutely will be there, and I know the artistry people, there's a few representatives will be there. Tracy Anderson have you come up with a subscription model for Conde design? It is in the works. If you're not familiar, that's where Sprite puts her designs, condedesign.com, and we're in the process of moving that to a subscription-based model to make it, I think, more accessible, more affordable for people. You just pay a little monthly fee and download whatever you want.
All right, take this out. Thank you.
That is excellent. So that is the placemat, and that critter is double-sided, so you could have two independent themes. It doesn't do it justice on camera. It looks much better here in person. Just a beautiful design.
Well, I didn't do the, I mean, I kind of did the design. I sort of, okay.
But to me, the background being a little bit out of focus like that with the foreground gives it some color depth, and I love the effect of the color there.
So Barb's asking about a football ornament, an aluminum football ornament, and
I don't know if we have that.
yeah, I don't know. I know we don't have it, but it, you know.
We
so-
should. Seems like too logical. Maybe we had one at one time. I don't know. That's an interesting thing we should check on. We do have a football mouse pad, football-shaped mouse pad. You know, the stadium cushions got a round and rectangle, so that's not football. But at any rate, good point. Seems like we got a few other just pure football-shaped kind of things.
Okay, guys, so I'm done. So what does that mean? That means it's time for you guys to have a chance to win all of the stuff that I pressed. But before we do that, let's talk about the rules, because I have my rules today. I've been forgetting them, but I have them. So we're going to play Guess the Weight. So what you have to do is tell me how much you think these products weigh. But before you do that, let's talk about the rules. Only one guess per person. You can only your first guess will qualify. One guess on platform, either YouTube or Facebook. Guesses should be expressed in pounds, i.e. 2.4, 1.2, 3.6, etc. The winning weight will be the first guess closest to, but not over, the combined weight of the products. 2 prizes will be awarded, one on Facebook, one on YouTube. Free shipping in the continental U.S. only. Cannot win twice within 90 days. All right, tell me how much do you think it weighs? I'm going to give you guys a hint. It's not that much. So
while you're doing that, two housekeeping things. We did a webinar, I think it was on Tuesday, with my friend Jimmy Lamb on my favorite topic, probably, and that is selling into the pet market. So I think we have posted that now on Conde TV. So by all means, take a look at it, and there's always something in it for you. So if you watch the webinar at the end, of course, I'll tell you what we can give you, part of your next order at Conde. I think $100 or more next order. And we have another webinar coming up on fanware, and let's see, when is that coming? October 8th. October 8th. Also, don't we have a coupon code that's still active? We have a coupon code?
we do. We do have a coupon code. It is C-FALL. Oh gosh, I don't know what it is. But if you go to the website, it's on the very front page.
And
of the
I believe
website.
that puppy is going to get you, what is it, like $30 off?
It is $30
It's just
off.
a $30 discount
That is
on
correct.
your order, your first order using coupon $200 or more. So it's free money, you know, so use it. So let's see, but always a bunch of things.
I got something
Take
else.
advantage. Okay.
Okay, I got 2 more things
Ah, you
to
got
give
some
away.
winners
I got
here,
some winners.
too.
Got some winner chicken dinner. So every single week I ask you guys to leave me a product review, and then I pick one of the beautiful reviews and I give you $25 in Conde credit. This week the winner is Jen with her last name, Mickelwain? Sounds good to me. Jen Mickelwain. She reviewed the TUM 217, which is our 20-ounce tall Luma steel tumbler, and she says, Printing is a breeze once you have perfected the placement, taping, and shrink wrapping process. After vigorous field testing, i.e. hot tea time for 3 hours and ice waters for 6 hours, I can attest to these cups to at least hold up to the more affordable store brand. So thank you, Jen, so very much. I will be giving you $25 in Conde credit soon. Also, numero dos. Once a week, I ask you to upload your products into our client gallery, and we give away $25 in Conde credit. We also are doing a quarterly contest which ends on September 30th, and that is your best out-the-box design. So that is, you know, whatever you can think of, maybe stacking metal, bundling products, full bleed mugs, anything that's a little bit out of the ordinary. And I'm going to give you first place $400, second place $200, third place $100, and then we have an honorable mention, which is another $100. So that is a lot of Conde cash that you can win just by taking pictures of your products and uploading them to our gallery page. So we have a $25 winner this week, and this week's winner is Cozy Kids Boutique, and she did our coasters, our hardboard coasters, U4597, and she did a really cute thing. So she accidentally ordered these without the cork back, and she said, I can't use them as coasters, so she made them as milestone markers for photos for children. I think that's super,
What's
super
a milestone
cute.
marker?
So you know how like they'll take a photo that says 1 month old or 2 months old, or so that's, and so the babies hold the little thing and they take the picture and they can chew on it.
Oh, so they're going to be holding it while they take their picture.
That is correct, yes.
I wonder if I can get Barron to do
Look,
that.
1 week, 1 year, 1 month, 2 months, that's super cute. So, thank you guys, thank you so much.
I'll get Barron. I'll take one home and see if Barron will hold it while I take his picture.
All right.
They had a question on, could you use the coupon with a heat press? I am not sure.
You can't use the coupon
I think
on equipment.
it's for supplies, substrates, things like that.
All right, guys, I've got some winners.
Hey, Tony, good to see you.
I see that. Hey,
Yeah.
Tony. Hey, what's up, Tony? Tony's my buddy. All right, so I've got some winners. So the weight was, and I apologize, the weight was 0.8 pounds, okay? All of this stuff weighs 0.8 pounds. So I have 2 winners, Alice Eisenbart on Facebook, good job, Alice, and Tanyu on YouTube. Tanyu guessed 0.75, Alice guessed exactly 0.8. Thank you guys so much. Also, I want to give away some art. So I have 2 winners for the art, Jerry Dykes on Facebook, and also Joe Humit on YouTube. So Jerry, Joe, Alice, and Tanyu, I need you all to email me at swood@conde.com. If you do not email me, then I cannot send you your prizes. So Jerry Dykes, Joe Humit, Alice Eisenbart, and Tanyu Anton, email me, swood@conde.com, and I'll be sending you your beautiful things. Jerry and Joe, you get art. Alice and Tanyu, you get a blank of all of this stuff.
That's awesome.
That's all I got,
That's
guys.
awesome.
That's it. That's it. So we're not going to be live next week
Nope,
because we're going to be in Atlanta.
We're going to be at there. Let's see. Look over this. See if you see anything else here.
That's it. There we go.
And over here. So, any last minute questions? We do appreciate everybody being with us today. It's always fun to do this. We enjoy being with you, and we hope it's helpful to you. Let us know how we can do more, better. And we look forward to getting back with you in 2 weeks. If we can do a live session there on Friday, I don't think we can.
You're killing me.
It's just too much to do and still teach our classes and interact with people. But you never know. We're gonna come with my little portable audio kit, and we'll do that. So thank you very much for being with us, and please, everyone, have a safe and great weekend.
Bye,
Till
Mom.
we meet again.
Love you. Love you too, Celeste.
Take care.